Motorsport Radio.
Awesome, right?
The Superbike Show on Motorsport Radio.
Hello and welcome. The Superbike Show 2022 is here. My name is Lester and joining me is a brand new presenter. It's Luke Newman. Hello, Luke.
Hello, Lester.
How are you? Who are you?
I'm very good, thanks. I guess I'm now part of Motorsport Radio.
Yes, you are. That is most important. So Luke is a student who's adopted a university radio studio at the moment. That's not his bedroom setup, although that would be impressive if it was. So Luke, you're in university where exactly?
Southampton in England.
Southampton in England. Important notification. And you're doing what at university? Maths.
Sports journalism, believe it or not.
Of course. So hence the microphone and the interesting journalism and stuff. So yeah, glad to have you on the show, Luke. And rusty at this. It's been a year or so. Glad to have you on the show, on the Superbike Show, Luke, for our first one of 2022. And I suppose I'd just delve in before we get started on the actual show into your interests in motorsport, because you do have a lifelong obsession with motorcycle racing. So tell us who you biased against and who do you love most, or rather, what series are you most into?
Oh, I mean, it's got to be Valentino Rossi as my favourite. He was the dominant man when I was growing up, so had to pick the winner.
Yeah, fair enough. And it's you're quite into BSB as well, which is quite handy for the show. Yeah,
BSB, World Superbikes. I love it all, so, I watch it all. This is perfect.
Welcome to the show. A new person, Newman, Luke Newman.
Thank you.
Sorry,
happy to be here.
My first one of the day. So anyway, Luke, we'll get started then without a further of me waffling on. And also welcome as well, if you're a returning listener or viewer to the Superbike Show. Yes, we are back and we are live. It is a Wednesday as we're doing this live, and you can get in touch with us tonight to disagree with anything that I end up spouting, probably because I've not been keeping my finger on the pulse of what's been going on. Probably. So if you do want to disagree, have your say, or maybe throw in your own conspiracy theories about where Marc Marquez is going, or where Fabio Quartararo might be going, or where they both might be going, or where Tom Sykes is not going. We will talk about all of that in due course, and get in touch with us. It's at Motorsport Radio on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, Instagram, VK, hello. And so that's the Russian Facebook. And loads of other places as well, Twitch and loads of, we're on Telegram as well. Get in touch, or just add your comment in the comments box below. And a big hello to everyone tuned in on the Facebook BSB fans Facebook group as well. I will spam this program on there. So main headlines then, Luke, that has emerged today. If you didn't know already, you probably should, because I'm guessing that you're watching this show, you're listening to the show already being a bike fan, but you should know that Suzuki have announced what a few people already suspected was coming down the line. That Livio Super, the former Honda man, has joined Suzuki as team manager. Tell us more.
Livio Supo, he was the Ducati team manager from 2003. He was the manager when they won their first title and only title with Casey Stoner. He's won another one with Stoner at Honda and 3 with Marc Marquez at Repsol Honda as well. And now he starts his journey with Suzuki. Yeah,
he left 2017, did he?
End of 2016, 16. I believe he stepped down.
Okay. See? I'm glad you're here, Luke. If one thing I do know about what he's been getting up to in his spare time is he launched an e-bike or e-scooter thingy-mabob, and apparently he's had enough of that and he's back now.
Clearly.
Yeah. I don't blame you. Yeah, there you go. He's back, and Suzuki, we'll get on to talking more about how that might affect the team's chances this year, for good or bad, and whether a certain rider will deal with that. Anyway, we'll get onto that later. Also, another one, there's not many big bits of news that's emerged, but at the start of the week, I think it was, or a couple of days ago, it was Pecco Bagnaia announcing that he's remaining with Ducati till the end of 2024. So yeah, that's good for them.
Yeah, pretty obvious that he'd stay with them, really.
Yeah,
best place for him to be. He seems to be enjoying himself there. The bike works for him, so it's perfect.
And announced today, separately from that, which is a great news story, I think, a good feel-good story that everyone can really get behind and support. Wayne Rainey has been announced to be riding up the Goodwood Hill at the Goodwood Festival of Speed later this year. He will be on his 1992 championship-winning Yamaha, and it's the first time he's on a racing bike in 29 years. Fantastic. And I think Goodwood, I don't know how they've managed to persuade him to do that, but there'll be a lot more bike people at Goodwood this year because of that, I suspect, Luke.
I imagine so, yeah. He obviously got paralysed from the waist down in 93 and hasn't been on a racing bike since, so it's a good step for him and very good to watch. Yeah,
that's, just to see him on his old bike as well, that would be an emotional thing, really. I mean, maybe he might fancy putting in a decent time, who knows? But just to see it as a spectacle once again, and if you remember that era when he was reigning around the world, then yeah, I'm sure it'll be even more of a better memory for you. So yeah, Wayne Rainey this year at the Goodwood Festival of Speed, something to watch out for. And also birthdays is a new thing that I'm going to try and keep up with. Birthdays today, it is, according to the internet, sorry if this is wrong, but it's now your birthday. Asher Durham, congratulations. Happy birthday, the junior superstock rider, and also the Endurance World Championship rider and former World Supersport rider, Stefan Hill, as well. It's his birthday. Don't know how old he is, but I'm just going to say happy birthday anyway. And also Antonelli in now Moto 2, a veteran of Moto 3 for many years. Luke says he's in Moto 2. And Antonelli, Stefan Hill and Asher Durham, their birthdays today. And was it Josh Owen's birthday yesterday? Or was it today?
No, it was yesterday, I think.
Yesterday. Happy birthday, Josh Owen, as well. And sorry if it is your birthday and I didn't mention it. So there you go. A couple of bits of news and stuff. I'm sure we'll have more news as, news emerges. But there's not really been that much. Everyone's been keeping their heads down from testing. We will get on to talking about Moto 2 and Moto 3 testing shortly. But, Luke, I want to go back and ask about the Suzuki appointment of Livio Super as team manager. For you, your opinion, how will this affect the team? Will it be a good initial thing for them? Will he cause a bit of an upset, perhaps? Is there anyone you can think of who might not like the sort of personality that he is coming into the team? What are your thoughts?
I mean, let's start looking at it as a team. It would be good that they finally have a full-on team manager. It's their first one since Davide Brivio left for F1. So it'll be good that they have someone who can drive them in the right direction towards winning another title like they did in 2020. But for riders, I think it's a positive for Joan Mir, there had been sort of speculation that he could be looking to leave Suzuki at the end of the year when his contract runs out.
Is that because he's not happy?
I can't tell if it's because he's not happy or because there could be better options on the table, like perhaps with Honda. But Livio Supo may be able to keep Joan Mir grounded and keep him in the team, which will be good for the team because he seems to be their lead rider since he was 2020 champion. But at the other side of the garage, there's Alex Rins, who didn't have the best 2021, I guess you could say. 13th in the championship, 10 places behind his teammate, 5 race DNFs, something that Livio Supo won't take kindly to, I don't imagine. So
big fan of Rins?
Oh, I mean, 2019 Silverstone Rins, yeah. When he passed Marc Marquez on the line, that was something to watch. But since then, he's been a bit of a downwards.
Has he got a bit of a reputation as a crasher? I mean, he didn't actually have the most crashes last year.
No, he didn't. But he did have 12 crashes throughout the whole season in 17 events that he did attend, because he missed Catalunya because he crashed off his bicycle into the back of a van because he wasn't looking where he was going. But fun.
Terrible.
Yeah. He was on his phone, I think, going around the circuit on the Thursday, and may have rode into the back of a stationary van. So that's something. But
yeah,
he only won podium last year, 13th in the championship. For a factory team, really what they want.
Well, I think next week's show, Luke, we're going to do predictions, and we're going to ask you your predictions, not just who will do well in Moto GP 2 and 3, but your predictions to perhaps underperform as well. I mean, we do talk about it on the show, so, I mean, we might as well just predict, so that we can compare notes at the end and then find out that we were both wrong.
Very far out.
So, yeah, there we go on that one. So, what do you think? Anyway, if you tuned in, let us know, get in touch, have your say. Just having a quick scroll of the old comments. There's not been many comments, actually, considering that we're streaming on quite a lot of platforms. Means I've got to check quite a lot of things. But hello to Simon Barry. Hello, tuned in this evening on the show, Simon. Glad to have you with us. We are on YouTube as well. Check us out on there, Motorsport Radio. We are on Facebook, streaming on Twitter as well, and all the other different things. I think we're on too many things, Luke.
Potentially,
because I'm flicking through things, trying to catch up on all the comments, and it's just too much to keep up with. And I'll have to come back. So if you've left a comment for us, I'll get back to it later. But so your thoughts on the Supo? Will he do well, or will the team do well initially? How long will it take for the team to do well? Minimum expectations. Let us know what you think. Get in touch. Have your say at Motorsport Radio on all good social media platforms. Staying with MotoGP for the time being. And we usually do ask this, we do sort of talk about this at least once a year, really, looking at how to watch MotoGP this year. Last year, I think we were a little bit spoiled in the UK because we actually had live MotoGP on BT Sport and on ITV for free. I think for the first time that I can remember. Anyway, it was on ITV live for the first time. But we've both been doing a bit of research, and we've not been able to find anything to suggest that ITV will have any live MotoGP this season yet. Things may change, or we've maybe been looking in the wrong place. But as far as we can see, the highlights will still be on ITV4, but I think it's ITV4 somewhere anyway. Yeah, the highlights of MotoGP still on terrestrial television. But in terms of live and the British Grand Prix, which a lot of people were potentially looking forward to, nothing announced yet, not even speculated or rumoured, so that might not be a thing. But you were at the British Grand Prix last year, weren't you?
I was, yeah. Rossi's last British Grand Prix. I had to go for the weekend.
Yeah,
stay at the track. It was good fun.
What was that like overall? You spend a lot of money?
Well, I mean,
yes.
I think it was about 500 quid maybe for the weekend with camping and tickets, but it was worth it to see Valentino's last race. It was a decent race. Quartararo ran away with it, from what I can remember. So, and Cal Crutchlow and Jake Dixon were both in MotoGP, which is good to see.
Indeed. Although it's not the last time Valentino Rossi will be racing in the UK. Because those who know will know that he's doing a full season in the GT Championship, of which I forgot the name of, which is terrible because I actually hope to do a show on GT Championships. But he'll be racing in the UK at Brands Hatch in a car, and it may be your only chance to see Valentino Rossi racing at Brands Hatch for the first time ever, I believe, racing at Brands Hatch. Yes, it is in a car, but it's probably worth going to attend, getting yourself a cheapish ticket compared to MotoGP, just for the fact alone that you can say to your grandkids, I saw Valentino Rossi racing at Brands Hatch in a car. But still, and you never know, you might even be able to get his autograph. As long as you shoulder barge Luke out of the way.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, that'd be good. And I'm seeing if there's a way that we could justify us reporting from the scene live, because it's something we talk about, GT racing cars and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you were there at MotoGP at Silverstone, and there was news recently of a merger, which for many people thought it might be happening between I think it's DAZN or DAZN, I think it's called, and BT Sport, after they announced that they were looking for a buyer or an investor, but it looked for a time that DAZN would be that company. There was never any official announcement to say that they were in talks with them, and the only other company that was speculated to have expressed an interest in taking over BT Sport and the various sports rights was the Discovery Group, which owns Eurosport. And they recently announced over the past couple of weeks that they had entered into exclusive negotiations with BT and the Discovery Network. So what potentially, Luke, will that mean if I've just subscribed to Sky just for Eurosport? Does that mean I have to fork out now for an extra 30 quid for BT, even though I don't want it?
I mean, hopefully not, but it's the way the world works, so probably. But
yeah, I mean, to be fair to them, there weren't that many details. So I think it was, the press release was just that they had entered into exclusive negotiations, and that was the last anyone's ever heard of it. So presumably they're still thrashing it out and between themselves. And I'm yet to make my mind up on this. Whether it's a good thing, I don't know. As long as prices go up, which they don't go up, as long as prices don't go up, which they almost definitely certainly will. So should I just resign myself to the fact that if you want to watch MotoGP, you'll soon be able to pay a bit more and also get BSB thrown in, unless, I don't know. Oh yeah, that's...
Well, I mean, at least all three would be under the same banner, but I imagine MotoGP would drive the price up.
Yeah, potentially. You were looking on the. You were looking at BT earlier. What did you? How much is it at the moment? I've not been doing this research, but how much is it? I put you on the spot.
Yeah, it depends which package you want. There was a 15 quid a month one for 24 months.
24 months? That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
£15 for 20 months.
£15 every month for 24 months, yeah.
£360?
There was also one for £40.
For 12 months?
Potentially. I didn't
That's £480. Be cheaper to just go to get the MotoGP video pass. That's not cheap.
No.
It's 200 quid.
170 quid.
Well, round up to 200. But yeah, a premium product like MotoGP, you'd expect to obviously spend a little bit of money, and hopefully, would the best result for fans, do you think, Luke, be for MotoGP to stay where it is, BT Sport to continue as is, the price to stay as it is for everyone? And, I mean, Eurosport's not that expensive, really. I mean, once a year they do. I think the deal's just finished where you could have got a year's streaming pass to watch Eurosport Channel 4. I think it was £40, £30 it was. Is that still a good deal for you? A year, £30?
Yeah, that is pretty good, but that will go up with MotoGP if it does go there. It is the premier bike racing class, so I don't think it would go cheap either. BT Sport would, with their prices as well, would probably carry over to Eurosport.
Blame Brexit.
Sure.
So there you go. Let us know again what you think. Get in touch, have your say on the proposed potential merger between the Discovery Group and BT Sport. Will it happen? Should it happen? And how might it look? Will it all come together as one? Will it be spun off into different companies? I don't know. Well, maybe we'll just have to wait and see, basically, is maybe the answer to that, Luke. There's been some theories floating around on the internet, of all places, Luke. Someone suggested that Fabio Quartararo is going to leave Yamaha, or might leave Yamaha, or could be in a position where he won't be there at the end of this season, or this time next year.
There is definitely a possibility, let's say, because his contract does run out, but there's nothing concrete to say that he is going to leave Yamaha. He has expressed his desire for more top speed from the M1, and from what I saw from Maio Meregali after pre-season testing, he didn't really say that there was much more. That didn't really seem to be their pathway to develop, even though Quartararo has been crying out for it for about a year now. So if he gets an offer from Ducati, Repsol Honda, the two Repsol Honda who look like they've improved, Ducati 2021 Constructors Champions, it'll be tempting, wouldn't it?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I don't know. He can do what he wants, to be honest. I mean, it made it sound like I don't care. I do care about him. But I mean, he can literally, he's in a position where he can, if he wanted to so leave and go to, I don't know, Honda.
He is the champion. I mean, he could. But what's
Marc Marquez done recently?
Marquez, he is signed on till 2024 off the top of my head, maybe 23. But you know, there is always the chance that Honda would go for Fabio. Would that be in place of Marc, or whether that be Paul Espargaro?
Are you suggesting a straight swap between the two?
It's possible, but is it very likely that would happen? Probably not. Marquez seems Honda through and through, really. So, and they do.
He's got no reason to leave.
He hasn't. They have brought him all of his titles, Repsol as well.
But would the team, I mean, he's not won now for a couple of years. You know, his arm's hanging on by a string.
His eyes are...
And his eyes falling out as well. You know, he's basically like Woody from Toy Story. He's in...
He's in pieces at the moment.
Yeah, he's in worse nick than I am. No, he's probably not. But, I mean, all the massive injuries that he's had... You know, could Repsol think, well, you know, Fabio's a bit younger, he's a bit more intact. He's, I mean, I think Marquez is, 25 or 26? He's not old at all, but could...
28, I think.
Oh, well, there you go, then he's pretty much over the hill.
He's in prime, really, at the moment.
Well...
is the injuries going to hold him back?
That's what I mean. If you're looking, how far in the future is the team looking? And is Marc Marquez the face of the future?
Probably not. There is also
I mean, if you were the team boss, what would you be thinking? Is it more likely you would think, well, on balance, Fabio, as long as he stays relatively fit, he's got probably more years in him than Marc Marquez has. He could retire at any Grand Prix if he has, another tumble.
That's a crash, yeah. Could throw another name in the mix, I guess, with Pedro Acosta, the Moto2 current Moto3 champion, racing in Moto2 this season. There's been a lot of talk on social media around could Pedro get the promotion to the MotoGP class with potentially Repsol Honda.
You think he'd go straight in?
I personally don't, but a lot of rumours or a lot of talk has been around him.
From who, though? Is it just fans or like people in the know? Because, I mean, if you remember when they literally drafted Alex Marquez in, it didn't work out fantastically well, did it?
No, not really. A couple podiums, but wasn't really the best. He's still not doing too great on the LCR, really. So,
yeah. And again, that probably came from, it was probably Mark saying, why don't you, get him in? But yeah, it was.
If you get him.
I don't know. Would you like to see Pedro Acosta?
Next year, no. I don't. I think he's too young to make the step just yet. Give him 2 years in Moto2, and then I think it'll be his time.
And then straight into the Repsol Honda team.
There's a lot of pressure around that, so probably not. But he is under the KTM banner as well, so there is a possibility with Tech 3 and Red Bull KTM Factory Racing. So but I mean, if he wins the Moto2 championship, which I'll talk about in a bit, I wouldn't say that there's not a team in the paddock that is currently not looking at Pedro Acosta for 2023 potentially.
So you've already got him down as this year's champion then?
I've got him down as a challenger. I wouldn't say champion. I've got him down as someone who, showing off his testing form, could do well. Interesting.
Well, I guess he might be one of your ones to watch. Predictions for next week, maybe. But we'll wait and see. I mean, he is actually, as you say, one of the actual genuine favourites. But it doesn't always work out.
No. Motorbike racing is not a very forgiving sport. No. And he's stepping up to a much bigger bike than he was on last year.
And he is only small, I think.
He is only young as well, 18, I believe. So
got T-shirts older than him.
I'm older than him.
So, let us know if you're tuned in or listening live or not or whatever. Does that sound like a theory that adds up to you? Are we talking total nonsense? Or could there be a universe somewhere that exists in the future where Marc Marquez effectively does a straight swap with Yamaha for Quartararo? And why would that happen? Let us know. Get in touch at Motorsport Radio on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, TikTok, everywhere basically. And you can also download an audio version of the show, a podcast, if you will. You can get it from your Apple Podcasts, your Spotify's. What's the Amazon Music, Audible as well. That's the thing. We're on there, and also on our website, motorsport.radio. Where we will also keep you updated through the season on things like Moto 2 and Moto 3, thanks to fantastic articles by Luke Newman.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, which leads us nicely on to talking about Moto 2 and Moto 3 testing, which concluded very recently this week. And, there's news. Shall we start with Moto 3? First of all, Luke, what's the big takeaways from testing in Moto 3?
Well, the biggest takeaway has to be that Leopard Racing topped every day of testing. Their newest rider, Tatsuki Suzuki, topped the first and second day of testing. So he looks in good form ahead of this season. And then Dennis Foggia, who challenged for the championship last year against Pedro Acosta, has stayed with Leopard and topped the final day of testing, putting in the fastest lap of the test. So they've got to be two to watch this season, surely.
Okay, yeah, decent stuff. And what about other teams? The new Vision Track, the Michael Laverty Vision Track Racing team. How did they get on? That's Scott Ogden and Josh Watley. Yeah, both British riders, which is very good to see again. Two young British talents coming through into Moto3 who could potentially make their way up through the ranks. Scott Ogden finished the test 18th overall, and Josh Watley was in 27th. Josh wasn't where he wanted to be result-wise, but things are going in the right direction for him. So he could find his way higher up the rankings towards the end of the season, but it was a good start. Scott Ogden as well, he looked very good on day 2. He was inside the top 10, so there is potential with Scott. He had a good few days. He did say that he was disappointed because he didn't string together his good sectors to get one very fast lap time on the last day. So he feels he could have been higher up than 18th, which is promising. Well, yeah, to be fair to them, I mean, they are both young, and it's their first show on a Moto3 in the World Championship. Exactly. And I'd like to say that there's like no pressure on Josh and Scott, but I mean, they will probably put loads of pressure on themselves. But I mean, really, you know, first season, first couple of outings, no one's really expecting you to be like top 10 or anything like that. Yeah, so don't be disappointed just because you're not, you know, where you thought you were in your mind before the session. Just staying on the bike, getting to collecting data, learning and stuff. That's probably more valuable than trying to go for a glory lap and, you know, binning it after 10 laps or so. So, solid first couple of tests from the MLAV Vision Track Racing team. Yeah, they have a lot of room to grow as well. I mean, they have very, very good experience in the team with Michael Laverty, obviously fronting the team, ex-MotoGP rider, ex-BSB rider, but they also have Taylor McKenzie as well, who's their team manager, who brings a lot of experience as well, as he's now retired from Superstock racing, sadly. But those two will have a lot of experience and knowledge to share to the two young guns in the team. So exactly.
We'll see.
Yeah. And Taylor McKenzie, as you say, as most people will know, team manager. I don't know if Michael will be there. Will he? I reading between the lines, I don't know if he's said already, so apologies if I've missed this, but I don't know if he's going to be like overseeing or micromanaging the team. I presumed that would be left to Taylor to see the day-to-day running of it, whilst in my head I thought that maybe Michael Laverty would be doing his work with BT Sport. I don't know. Potentially, I'm not sure. That's kind of just what I presumed would continue to happen. And since he's there in the paddock anyway, doing TV work, he'd, you know, if there's any issues, he'd be there, that sort of stuff. But anyway, good luck to everyone involved. Fantastic British team. Good luck, really. We're all rooting for you and behind you, all the riders, and we will definitely keep a close eye on those, on that team as well. Any other news from Moto3? John McPhee, where's he? Is he still knocking about? He is the veteran of the Moto3 class now. I think. Not quite. I think he is the oldest rider now in Moto3 with Fanati gone. And he is now racing, speaking of Fanati, for the team that Fanati was with last year, the Sterolgrada Husqvarna Max Biaggi team. So John's got a very tough team manager looking over this year. But John finished 12th in the test on his first outing on a Husqvarna. He thinks he's in good shape for Qatar, so hopefully he'll be fighting at the front, but he has just come off the Honda, which is the superior Moto3 bike
really, and the bike that has given him the best results for his career. But hopefully, fingers crossed for John, that this will be the year that things go together and he could find his way into Moto2, hopefully.
I've heard that saying before.
Every other year, yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully. Hopefully. I have hope in John.
Yeah, I say this every year. I like him, and yeah, we want him to do well, and he's sort of there or thereabouts, but he does the British rider thing of never quite making it.
Yep, which has been a trending theme in GPs for a couple of years now.
Although with Danny Kent being the exception to that rule. John McPhee, though, your chances, your thoughts on his chances, be realistic now. Different team. That says it all.
Like I said, historically, on the KTM chassis, he didn't do amazingly. The Honda chassis has been his best historically, and the Husqvarna chassis comes under the KTM umbrella pretty much. So it looks very similar. It might not be for rider feel, but from an outside perspective, it looks very similar. So it might not be the best for John, but like I said, Max Biaggi, a tough personality, could be someone to almost wake John McPhee up
with a kick up the arse.
Pretty much, yeah.
I'm going to say it again. We do officially wish John all the very best, and we want him to do well, and we want him to really, really do well, not just like, a few podiums here and there, maybe a win. And like, actually, I mean, come on, John, it's time now.
Champion.
Yeah. This might be a question for another show, actually. Thinking, I am jumping way ahead of myself here. After this year, I mean, there's only surely. I mean, could you see him in like something like? Well, if he doesn't get the results that John McPhee's hoping, what's next?
I mean, I can't answer it now. I have some idea. Will
Superbikes?
No.
Can you see him in Wilson? I don't know.
I can't personally, but
BSB then.
A move to BSB would be good, especially if Taron McKenzie gets his World Superbike move for 2023. There will be a space at Yamaha.
Now you're jumping ahead.
John does test on an Albon. I am jumping ahead, but you've got to stay speculative in this game. Got to see what doors could open for John in Britain for next season, if that is where he has to go. If he can't get a Moto2 deal or even a World Superbike deal.
Well, talking about former GP paddock riders, former GP rider Bradley Smith, he announced last year that at the end of last year, I think it was Snetterton, that he was going to be making his debut into BSB, the BSB paddock anyway. Didn't go too well.
Didn't happen.
For him. But still, he came on the show and he was decent, nice guy.
Well, I love Brad, local rider from Oxfordshire, same as me.
Oh, right, okay. Well, there you go. For the record, we would like to have Brad Smith back on the show. And since he's not, what's he doing this year?
Moto E, I think.
What's he doing this year? No. Is he still doing that? Okay, right.
Well, I think he's making his return for this year, but he had been...
I know he's been messing about on them scooters.
He has been, and he is also running his... Oh, God, what is it? The 109 team?
The academy. With him and Claudio Corti. I think. Them two.
Maybe he's one of the ones like that.
Well, I always see them posting things together on their own, so... Yeah. He's
racing with the WibU GRT RNF Moto E team this year in Moto E, and in 2019, the debut year of the class, Bradley Smith did do very well in Moto E, so could be the Moto E Cup winner this year. We'll see.
Hello, Duncan Vincent tuned in on online on the internet. They have the internet on computers now, didn't you? Hello. Funny you should actually get in touch, actually, Duncan, because we're going to talk about you next. What's this? Talking about me, what? In a Scottish accent. He says, we're going to swiftly move on from Moto 3 to Moto 2, and then we're going to talk about you. So stay tuned. Teaser. Moto 3, not that many big news stories, really, from Moto 3. Moto 2, though. There was a new unofficial lap record at testing, wasn't there?
Yeah, from the man I mentioned earlier, Pedro Acosta, the reigning Moto 3 champion, makes his move up to the Red Bull KTM IO team. He's stepping into the shoes of Gardner and Fernandez from last year. Actually, he's riding alongside another Fernandez this year. But he is the fastest ever Moto 2 rider around Portimao in only his third day of official testing on a Moto 2 bike. He was almost a second quicker than Remy Gardner's lap in 2021, which is impressive since Remy was in Moto 2 for quite a while. So,
okay.
He must be one to keep an eye on, like I said earlier. So.
But it's not official, though. It's not they can only be set in during a Grand Prix weekend, can't they?
Yeah, it is an unofficial lap record, but a very fast one nonetheless. So
yeah. A very fast lap.
Very.
There you go.
Impressive.
And Jake Dixon, how well did he get on?
He got on very well. Fourth in the test. He's with Gas Aspar team this year. Moves from the now non-existent Petronas Sprinter Racing team. So all the best to Jake this year. He's focused on Qatar now after testing, after putting in a good result. So fingers crossed, Jake will do well this season and potentially could see himself forge away into MotoGP next year, maybe, if a door opens, if Dorna really want a British rider in MotoGP next season.
He came out and I'm just trying to find the quote that Jake Dixon issued. The rather very brief, because we were both struggling to see like all the people who were talking about. So, seen a press release from so-and-so and a quote from him and the team and stuff. Nothing from, as far as we can see, I don't know.
From Aspar, so who knows?
Yeah, there was just one line on Jake Dixon's social media today, I think, earlier this morning. I think it was today, saying that he's just looking forward to the first round, bring it on.
Yeah.
Or words to that effect.
I mean, he's around Portimao. He looks strong. He could be good this year, could be one to keep an eye on if he can stay on the bike and injury-free, which he's also been plagued with.
Jinx.
Hopefully not.
Talking about Sam Lowes, though, he was also in testing.
He was. He finished around 20th. Testing didn't go the way that Sam would have liked it to. He was struggling with tendonitis in his left wrist during testing. He also crashed on the second day of testing at turn 3, I think, but it wasn't a big one, but it was enough to upset his tendonitis. So hopefully he'll be fit and raring to go in Qatar. He's optimistic to be competitive there. He's been competitive there in the past. Took 2 wins there before. Could happen.
Where is your tendonitis? Is it?
God, I don't do biology. I do sports journalism.
Yeah, it's a sports injury.
Yeah, but I don't look at that, do I? I look at results and who's going where.
I think I had tendonitis just getting out of bed the other day. It's like when you get out of bed too quickly, you're like, Yeah, you're too young for all that sort of stuff.
I think Sam's got a chance. He's staying with the same team that he's been with for the last couple of years. The Mark VDS. Yeah. Mark VDS team, yeah. He's staying in an environment he knows. He's still got his can't remember his crew chief's name now, but he's still running with him, so they get along very well. He gives praise to Sam when he needs it, apparently, but not all the time. But After two decent years with that team, and without Rainey, Bezecchi on the scene, Gardner and Fernandez, could this be the year that Sam Lowe's puts it all together, puts a championship run together? Hopefully. I hope so. You don't look too confident.
I feel like I keep saying, this is definitely going to be his year every year. It's either, we were even saying it about Sam Lowe's or John McPhee, but come on, guys. Last year was great. Really was.
Oh, yeah. So was the year before. Brilliant.
Yeah. But just this time it just and he nearly did it. He nearly did it. But fingers crossed. We'll just have to wait and just hope that he doesn't get any further injuries, and whatever injuries he might have now goes away, so that he can perform at his peak, as we know he definitely can do. So there you go. Any other sort of big takeaways then? Coming out of testing before the season starts shortly, for you overall, Moto 3, how's it?
Could be anyone's game, same as usual. You can't read into Moto 3 testing very much. It's Moto 3 is very much on the day, who performs in the race, who doesn't. It's could be it could go to Leopard Boys, could be some other rider which we haven't mentioned, haven't touched on. It could. Pedro Acosta wasn't a favourite last year, and he ended up winning it. It could fall to anyone in the end of the day.
Could be that Scott Ogden gets his first win.
Could be. I would.
Josh Watley.
Or Josh. I'd love to see either of them. I hope they both do well. I'll be rooting for all of the British lads this season.
We shall. Shall we have like a bet? Or maybe not. That's a bit. We'll do regular predictions. Let's say.
Yeah.
A non-financial prediction thing is probably best.
One prediction that I'm already ready to make.
Oh, go on.
Yeah. Jake Dixon for a podium this year. His first Moto2 podium. I think it'll be his first. I don't think he's had another one. He was close to a win in Le Mans in 2020, but I think this is the year. Everything seems to be fitting together nicely. I'd love to see Jake on a podium in Moto2.
But question is, and that yes, that probably I'd agree with you, and that would be a good prediction to go for. But question is, at what circuit will he be doing it at? Because of the 21 rounds, I've only got 20 listed on my little calendar thing. Which particular circuits then? They start out at Lusail. Sure, it used to be Lusail. They start out at Lusail in Qatar in just a couple of weeks.
Next week.
Wow, next. That's really close. Yeah. So, and then, round 2, Mandalika.
Mm-hmm.
That is a good track, isn't it?
It was good for World Superbikes. MotoGP have only tested there, and it wasn't a great test, very dirty circuit, because no one's been there for a while. But
I felt like all the riders enjoyed being there.
Oh, yeah. It's the first time they've been to Indonesia in a long time. So I think the fans are happy to have MotoGP back as well.
Mm. So of these 21 races then, of 21 rounds, where do you think then that Jake Dixon will get his podium or podiums, or the first of many, as you confidently predicted? Where will it happen?
Well, I mean, you'd love it to be at Silverstone, wouldn't you? But
yeah, I mean, we've already chalked him up for that anyway. That's an obvious one, but
it's going to happen.
That's like very much the second half of the season, isn't it?
Yeah,
where would he go well, Ad? That's actually a good question. Like, who would go well, or where will the first British podium be on this calendar?
If Le Mans a wet race, like it has been multiple times,
Possible.
Jake's proven in 2020 that he can run at the front, battling with Sam for the win at a wet Le Mans circuit. So that could be one. Can't really think how Jake's done it. Many of the others. Qatar, Sam Lowe's has gone well there previously. Depends how his his injuries holding up. Kota as well. Sam's gone well at Haref. There's a few on here I could see Sam on.
Yeah.
John McPhee. He's done well at Le Mans before. John McPhee. Again, if it's wet, could be another. Brits seem to like racing in the wet for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay, and what about these like extremely hot boiling types of races?
Like Thailand.
Yeah, possibly Indonesia as well. Although, isn't it like monsoon season over there? In the next
was when World Superbikes were there.
Oh God, yeah.
But I'm not too sure how they'll go there, but I'm more just excited to see racing back in the likes of Thailand, Phillip Island, Sepang, Motegi. It's been 2 years without any racing there, so the fans need it. They're all very, very good circuit. The Kimi Ring as well. That's a new one.
Ring.
Sure. We haven't seen any MotoGP action there yet, and that's been on the cards for.
That's been like 5 years in the making.
The most MotoGP track action we've had there is test riders there, and they all seem to like it. From what I've played of it on the video games, it looks like a decent circuit, so it could be definitely one to watch and keep an eye on how this new circuit looks.
Okay, and MotoGP then, if your answers are any different. Favourites on there? I know the last round is missing on I made a little graphic and it accommodates 20 things, but there's 21 races for the time being. Which is your favourite, Luke, for GP?
For some reason, I really like Sepang. It's just something about it's very unpredictable because it could either chuck it down with rain or it could be really hot. So they could have gone through a whole weekend of practice and qualifying in the rain, and then race day comes really hot, really sticky track, or they could have gone through a whole weekend of really hot track, no practice in the wet, and then it just tips it down last minute. So it's a very unpredictable circuit, which brings some very, very good racing.
It could also be raining and very hot as well. This is like that hot rain that warms you through, I suppose.
Yeah, not a great one.
But yeah, other than Silverstone, yes, I'm also looking forward to the Kimi Räikkönen ring. For some reason, I am Sachsenring, Germany. It's not. It's a.
It's a Marc Marquez circuit, really. When he's bet,
well, if he's there,
he'll be there. I think he'll be there. But yeah, it's a bit like Valencia. It's a bit Mickey Mouse, really, isn't it? A bit tight.
Maybe I'm just thinking of it from like car racing, though. I don't know because it's a good sort of DT. I don't want to talk about cars, but anyway. But yeah, 21 races for the first time in many. Do you know, Luke? There's young people, even younger than you, who got into MotoGP and motorsport in general, who've never really experienced a full season like what we remember. Because we've had 2 years of like BS.
Calendars, yeah. That is true. I hadn't thought of that. Some people haven't seen racing at Phillip Island, Sepang, all the flyaway events. Which
Phillip Island, for example.
Oh, it's a good circuit as well. Brings some good racing. Same as Motegi in a way. Not Motegi, sorry. Sepang in a way, where it could chuck it down with rain, be really cold, or be really hot, since it is an island.
Well, yeah. I mean, most places are, to be fair.
It's good racing, though.
Yeah.
Very racing.
And, there we go. Moto 2, Moto 3 and Moto GP all, I suppose, nicely wrapped up, ready to be packaged and dispatched for their first round, which is, as Luke says...
next weekend.
Next week. See, I'm still thinking it's like a few weeks away.
few months, It's only just Christmas.
Yeah, it's March now. Well, basically, this time next week it's March.
Exactly.
March.
I have to go racing.
Better get out of bed. Christ. But yeah, there you go. Moto GP 2 and 3. We'll do a predictions on next week's show and the official predictions show. So if you'd like to, I'll put a post out on all of our socials as well. Interact with that. If you can't listen or watch the show live, you can still be part of it by checking out the throwing in your predictions. We should have, I don't know, do a predictions league. Maybe I'm overstretching myself there. Sounds like a lot of work. Never mind, we'll scrap that. We'll just do it ad hoc, a round by round basis. I'll let Luke admin it.
Oh, great.
But yeah, it's a bit of fun, isn't it? No prizes, unless I win. Then I won't win though. But
I will.
Although, no, I don't know. I'm a bit rusty with my predictions. I used to be like really, really, really amazing. Like I'd just come out with some random stuff and it would happen.
Sometimes the random predictions are the best.
Yeah, well, yeah, I'll see what I can do for next week on the show. But yeah, let us know your thoughts on how well John McPhee is going to do in Moto 3. Is he going to be racing behind Scott Ogden and Josh Watley, perhaps? Or will he be out front? Probably not, because it's Moto 3 and they're all lunatics. But Moto 2, who will be the best Brit? Even Moto GP, will we see any maybe wildcard Brits will we see any new Moto GP Brits who we've not seen much of in Moto GP? As good as the classics are, be good to have like Jake Dixon and stuff back. So who knows what will happen? Stay tuned to the Superbike Show and on motorsport.radio. Luke's articles through the season. We're trying to get him to write some opinion articles as well, where he has lots of opinions. Should have heard him off air earlier.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll try and pin him down for some actual put these things down on paper, on the internet, for some opinions, and we will hold his feet to the fire when they go spectacularly wrong, and you can too as well. Hold him to task. It is the Superbike Show. My name is Lester, and I'm joined by a new man, Luke Newman.
Yep, second one on the show.
Sorry. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah. What happened to Tristan anyway? Where did he go?
Well, technically, I guess I am his
your new Tristan. Tristan, by the way, if the last time you listened to the show and Tristan was on it, or if you've not tuned in for a while, maybe there was someone else on it. Tristan, I'm happy to announce, if you genuinely don't know where he is, and like why we always seem to pop up every season with a brand new presenter, it's because Tristan has joined Kiko and Liam, two previous hosts, and he's gone to live and work in Spain for Dorna, working on MotoGP. But I'm still here.
I'm here now, so.
And you're also here. So anyway, we'll be moving on swiftly to talk about other stuff, maybe some predictions, and some hot gossip, unconfirmed stuff, and that in BSB.
Contact the show on Twitter, on Facebook, and on our website, Motorsport Radio.
Yeah, it is Motorsport Radio on the internet, and you can go on our website, motorsport.radio, and grab a copy of the podcast of the show, subscribe on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, whatever it's called, and anywhere, basically. We also have, Luke, a 24-hour radio station playing 24 hours a day with, soon, a Motorsport Radio breakfast show starring myself and Kiko Giles every single weekday morning, 6 a.m. till 9 a.m. Yes, we do talk a lot of rubbish, but we also talk about motorsport as well. So, yeah, lots of stuff.
Keep an eye out.
Exactly. He's enthusiastic. There we go. Hardly contain his excitement. Anyway, it is Motorsport Radio, and there's the small matter, and I don't say that lightly, of BSB to talk about. There's not been much big, massive news because there's still, I think, 50 days to go until the first round at Silverstone. The national circuit is back, and much to everyone's surprise, when it was. I think that was it 2019 when they first tested the national circuit as a full thing, or was it 2018? No, 2020. Anyway, I knew it was going to be a success because when car racing always races on the shorter national circuit, it always is a success, and it was. So yeah, they're starting the season off there with a pre-season couple of tests as well. We'll get the calendar up in a bit. But basically, a lot of talk on the BSB fans Facebook group, hello, good evening, has all been about the new sound of BSB. And there's not been any official announcements announced yet, although it is kind of an open secret. And you probably know what I'm going to say. But there seems to be a handful of brand new commentators. There, I understand, will be some sort of announcement coming soon. So I don't want to say much, which might give it away. But you can probably guess who the commentators might be. We've had this conversation like once a year, every year, about, when Fred Clark's finally going to go from BSB. Not that we wanted him to, but it was inevitable. Last year, end of last year, he finally announced his retirement, which to everybody's heartbreak. It's one of those moments, and I don't know. Maybe we can persuade him to come on the show. And he does good work on Twitter, actually, not Twitter, Facebook. With his stories, does Fred. And yeah, there's also been a change on the BSB TV feed as well. So you'll be hearing at the circuit a new commentator. Again, it's not been announced. I'm trying to be really careful what I say. It's not been announced exactly who it is. Although, if you just rewind this shot, but Eurosport also, and I think it's an open secret. That's new. But I don't think they've announced it yet. But there has been a couple of other podcasts. I think I don't know. Was it on Chasing the Racing podcast? You saw that where it was. It's
an open secret.
Yeah.
That someone is leaving. He was on the Chasing the Racing podcast.
Well, yeah, Bernicle said that he's no longer going to be the main TV commentator for British Superbikes. It will be someone else. Keith Hewin has said it won't be him, even though I would have preferred it. Initially, I had him down as being Jack Bernicle's replacement, and he was towards the end of last year, as he... It sounded good, I think, with Keith. It wouldn't. He'd be a fantastic stand-in for the new guy, who's going to be announced also soon. So between me being really vague and not saying much, I wonder if there's like a certain last year's MotoGP commentator who was recently announced as being the main radio commentator, the Manx Radio Isle of Man TT coverage this week. Who may also be doing BSB. It'd be nice if it was officially Steve Day, and I wouldn't be at all remotely surprised if indeed it was. But also, as well, you may be hearing on Eurosport previous presenters of this show. Tristan Finocchiaro did a few races with Eurosport some points last year as well, which is it got messy really towards the last year, which is basically why we didn't do many shows. it was just crazy. And yeah, you know how it is. So that helped him get a job in Spain at Dorna. It's all changed, basically. BSB Radio and BSB TV. Your thoughts, Luke? I'm going to put you on the spot.
I mean, I have one opinion. As long as James Whip stays, I'm happy.
Oh yeah, I mean that's. I'm only presuming that is automatically going to happen. I mean, why wouldn't he?
No, exactly. He's brilliant. Yeah, he brings personality to the commentary box. So who wouldn't want him? And
it is an official law that you must have a northerner on BSB coverage, at least one, at all times. So
sure, as long as it's wet, fine, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think everyone just presumed he'd stay there anyway.
Don't see any reason why they'd want to get rid of him.
No. So if I'm right, or if the rumour is right that we heard, that it will be James Whittam alongside probably Steve Day, let's be honest. But that's not officially confirmed. I also hear, and yes, I believe Greg Haynes is also going to be back doing some, calm down, he is back. I know. He's a nice guy, Greg. We like him. He's been on the show a few times, and he may or may not be joined by original presenter of this show, Tom Brooks, at various rounds. Wait and see on that one. But there you go. Not much I can officially say on that, but at least James Whittam's presumably staying, and we've not heard anything to the contrary. And where else would he? I mean, why? I mean, what? That's unthinkable. That's unthinkable. James Whittam not doing BSB commentary, because he's still, like you say, he's the Martin Brundle of BSB.
Exactly.
Basically. So yeah, I understand. Again, I'm making a presumption here, and I've not checked with him, but I'm going to presume that Larry Carter's still on BSB Radio again. Why wouldn't he be? I mean,
makes sense. He will be.
Yeah. Motorsport Radio will this year. This is something I can tell you. Motorsport Radio at as many rounds as possible. Will have a feed of BSB Radio, so that hopefully you can enjoy it in more places in as higher audio quality as is humanly possible. Just another fantastic place to get your BSB if you're out and about, for example. Talking about, there was one other little tiny rumour that I found on Facebook from Michael Hill, and I believe he found out from Matt Oxley, and I don't know where he found out from. Probably someone official told him, but it's not been announced, this. But I can report on the rumour that the Mini GP UK series, according to Michael Hill on Facebook, who said this on his Facebook thing, according to Matt Oxley, just covering myself in case anyone says anything, that will be once again a thing. People who were at Cadwell Park last year will again be able to watch the action for the World Final qualifying round. However, it'll probably be only one of two locations this year happening over, I think, about 5 rounds approximately. There's not been an official calendar released yet, so the final details are yet to be finalised. But they were mostly being run with BMB, the mini bike series, but I understand that is not to be the case this year, as they will be probably at the Stowe circuit during the Grand Prix weekend at Silverstone, and also at Cadwell. If those are the two, that obviously means that they're not going to be running with BMB, and that is just something I've found interesting. So there you go. You might not know that, and it might not even be true. That's just what Michael Hill said on Facebook, and according to Matt Oxley. Anyway, I think we got around that, Luke.
Yeah.
50 days till the start of BSB, and of these, where's my BSB calendar? Let's have a quick look. What are we fancying there? Highlights for you? Round 1, Silverstone, 15th to the 17th. Oh, my birthday weekend. 15th to the 17th of April. That weekend. Then they go round 2, Alton Park, Donington National towards the end of May. Then it's Knockhill, then Brands Hatch GP, then Thruxton before the have a couple of weeks rest, and then it's the TT in between then. And then it's Cadwell Park, and then Snetterton, Alton Park, Donington, before ending the season once again, obviously, at Brands Hatch. What are you looking forward to, Luke?
Silverstone.
Okay.
It's my local round. I've been going every year that I can recently, so love a racing there. It's the shorter circuit is working for BSB, definitely. Very quick, very fast laps. Longer races, very nice. Donington Park always produces good racing as well. Cadwell with the mountain, can't forget that.
Yes.
Brands Hatch, it's a classic.
Yes. I'm just going to agree with all of. Yeah, I mean they're all good. There isn't a bad. Yeah, they're all good.
Knockhill's the strangest one out of the bunch. It's very different compared to like the Grand Prix spec circuits.
It does have the potential, a little bit like Thruxton, to throw up a few weird results. I think, didn't Jake Dixon get his first couple of wins at Knockhill a few years ago? Am I making that up?
Potentially. I know Skinner got his first podium last season.
Well, obviously.
But
yeah.
With Jake, I'm not sure. Potentially.
Okay, maybe I was making that up. Someone got the... I don't even know. I don't trust my own brain sometimes. But yeah, Knockhill's going to be good. Brands GP. Which one? Yeah. Okay, I'm just thinking. Thruxton. I was at Thruxton last year. For the first time ever. It was my first ever experience of Thruxton. Yeah, it was good. I remember it rained. I was there on the Friday and it rained.
Yeah, I think the rest of the weekend was pretty dry. It's probably just because you were there.
Yeah.
Just to rain.
Yeah. I just remember trying to navigate around the perimeter of Thruxton and thinking, this is a lot bigger than what I thought. And it was a lot bigger than what I thought. So there you go. But yeah, Cadwell, never been there on a BSB weekend. I've been there on just a club racing weekend where, there's no one else there and you can basically go cartwheeling around. BSB, it's a little bit more, let's say, packed. But it has the atmosphere. And Cadwell, if you've never been to a BSB round, what? Cadwell, I would suggest, would be one of the... I mean, there's a good question. If you'd never been to a BSB round, Luke, which one would you pick? Silverstone, obviously. But second, which one would you pick as your to break your BSB virginity? Oh, excuse me.
Donington Park.
Donington.
Classic, isn't it? Crane of curves, old hairpin, foggy S's. It's got to be the GP weekend as well, not the national circuit.
Oh, what's wrong with the national circuit?
There's nothing wrong with it. It still produces good racing. It's just, the foggy S's are in the Grand Prix calendar, and there's also the, what's it called? Melbourne Loop? Is that the one down the bottom?
Yeah, the loop, yeah. I've always found that a bit clumsy and a bit, It's a bit like when they all sort of like the inevitable coming together in it's going to happen at least once, where someone sends it a bit too hard, and then it's always a bit of a pathetic, sort of a slow speed thing. Not that I enjoy high speed things, but
It does produce some last ditch attempts down there. Can happen, can work potentially.
Yeah.
Some don't. Well, quite a few don't.
One of the best places to actually, talking about the Melbourne, I slagged it off, I shouldn't have done, because it is actually one of the best, if you're a spectator, to press your face up against that chain link fence, if you can. I don't know if you still can anymore, but I used to. And it is certainly accelerating if you're sort of paddock side of that fence, if you know what I mean, rather than like the opposite end of the Melbourne. You know what I mean. That's one of the best places to see them all accelerating. And if you can try and, like, I don't know, stick your phone through one of the holes and get a nice shot, you'd be like, oh yeah, I'm a content creator now.
Just don't lose your phone.
Yeah, that. But that is one of the best places to spectate. Personally.
Never been there on a BSB weekend, actually, Donington. So
okay, fair enough. And just referring back to the rumours regarding commentators. Yes, as I say, there's always a hot discussion around this topic, which is why we wanted to mention it. It was going to happen. Well, it already did happen over the Christmas on our BSB fans Facebook group. There's I understand going to be an announcement at some point soon about it. Well, obviously it'll be soon, somewhere in the next 50 days. Will be an announcement, and when there is, we'd love to get whoever the new commentators are on the show. It'll be literally, I mean, I think it'll be a new era for BSB. It'll sound like a new era for BSB because you've got a new sound, literally, on the radio, at the track, and on TV as well. It'll sound different, and I'm going to say that different in many cases is better.
Yeah,
it's a step forward without trying to insult anybody's allegiances to the older commentators. I feel like we should move on.
Yeah, potentially before you upset someone.
Upset someone on the internet?
Yeah, easily done.
Anyway, have we talked about everything that we needed to talk about?
I think so. I mean, could mention that Haslam's back, even though it's old news, I guess, week old.
Oh, yeah, that happened as well.
Leon Haslam, ex-BSB champion.
Yeah, but I mean...
You already know that now.
Again, no, yeah, it's sort of an open secret. It wasn't even was it even a secret? It wasn't really. Oh, yeah, Tom Sykes.
Ah, yeah. Tom Sykes could be returning to BSB, 2013 World Superbike champion. Could be coming back with Paul Bird Motorsport, potentially. Potentially. There's nothing announced from Paul Bird yet. Pretty much the only team left.
Well, he's been I think he's been in Dubai?
Abu Dhabi
with his with Frank while he's been doing some GT racing. For those who are wondering maybe what the delay is of an announcement at Paul Bird, well, potentially, and I haven't spoken to anybody, Larry Carter or anyone associated with the team or even Paul or anyone, but as he was out of the country, I'm guessing for a little while, racing or watching racing with Frank, his son, probably that. But also maybe been trying to finalise some sponsorship to get some money together to actually fund these amazing riders that he's trying to confirm as well. So maybe that's going on in the background, potentially.
Who knows? Paul Bird knows, but we don't.
Yeah, I don't know. Phone him up. Ask him what's going on. You playing out?
Well, he's not in the country. Doubt he'll answer.
I think he's on his way back now. I think Frank's done his GT racing. He did all right.
It seems like Josh is confident that he's staying with the team, Josh Brooks.
Well, he's been posting pictures of him on a bike, on the same bike, saying that he's looking forward to getting back racing with a picture of him on the bike. So one would presume he's doing that.
He has also said in the Australian, can't remember which media site, but an Australian media site that he had a deal with Paul Bird for 2022. So he thinks that's still going ahead. So we'll see in the coming weeks. And testing is only a couple of weeks away as well now. Early April.
I had my calendar up a minute ago. Where's my calendar? Yeah.
Didn't even look at the test date.
March 26th, 27th is the first test date at Snetterton. Second test is a one-day Donington, March 31st. Then it's the test day before the first round at Silverstone, April 6 and 7. And then it's the first round. And then after the first round, it's another final test at Alton Park before the Alton Park round at Alton Park. So, yeah, March 26, 27, Snetterton testing, official BSB. And I've forgotten off the top of my head which test round the Honda British Talent Cup will be testing at. Which one of those is their first official test? It might be Snetterton. Can't remember, so I won't say.
Sure.
But yeah, they're also one of the. If you watched all of the BSB supports last year, and well for the past few years, you'd probably know that the Honda British Talent Cup has provided some fantastic action, very mature racing from kids, and they're going to be back again this year. And yeah, don't know who's commentating on it. Maybe Greg Haynes.
Maybe.
Don't know.
Yeah.
We'll wait and see. But yeah, Honda British Talent Cup will be there and maybe bringing you some of the, inside gossip from the Talent Cup paddock. Who knows?
Did just see a comment about Christian Iden should have stayed at PBM, but not sure what the reasoning is around Christian Iden's departure from Paul Webb Motorsport. So
that comment flooding in from Christian Iden.
No. His biggest fan, my dad.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I see. Was it your dad who commented that?
Yes.
Okay. Fair enough. Okay.
He wanted to get his bit in.
Yeah, fair enough. We are live, so we welcome people's comments and stuff. But yeah, I think there's, not enough time to have that full debate, but
yeah.
That's why we have the BSB fans and Facebook group, so that you can open up and have a wider topic of conversation.
Or get Christian on and ask him himself, or Paul Bird himself, in a future episode about.
I'll reach out to them. They can tell me to sod off if they want. I'm sure I'll get told one of those things by one of those people. But yeah, there we go. End of the show. End of our first show on Motorsport Radio of 2022. Had a decent chat, really. We'll probably, talk more about MotoGP as it's next week. And we'll be back, hopefully, next week.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah. So, your first show on Motorsport Radio. Luke, how have you enjoyed it?
I have enjoyed it. It's been a lot easier, less nerve-wracking than I thought. So it's been fun. I've enjoyed it.
Fair enough. Okay.
Just sat here and talk about bikes for an hour and a half or whatever it's been.
That's literally all it is. It's not complicated. Really. And yeah, thank you very much. If you have tuned in as well to also listen to us waffle and talk about bikes and some such, thank you. Really appreciate it. And check out the website, motorsport.radio, for the latest news and articles from Luke throughout the week and in the run-up to the BSB season as well, and any other big weighty opinion articles, which may or may not be about Christian Iden.
We'll see.
Yeah, we will see. Thank you once again, Luke. And thank you very much for tuning in to the Superbike Show, first one of 2022 here on Motorsport Radio. Thanks. Good night.
Join the conversation. Contact the show on Twitter, on Facebook, and on our website, Motorsport Radio.